If you're an entrepreneur who's been trying to grow their business to that 6-figure or 10K a month mark, or maybe you're someone in the very beginning who's just been looking at all of these people online making money on their social media and you're wondering, okay, how do I get there? Either way, this video is for you, and we're going to break down exactly the 5 main areas that you're going to need to focus on in order to hit those 10K months. Welcome back to my channel, guys. If you are new here, my name is Kolbye, and I'm a business coach for service-based entrepreneurs. And on this channel, you're going to find everything entrepreneurship, marketing, sales, and a sprinkle of digital nomad content. Before we dive into today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe, as that helps us be able to create more amazing content for you guys. And a little shameless plug, if you are looking for more information about scaling your business, behind the scenes of what it looks like, make sure to follow me on Instagram, because I'm on my Instagram stories every day showing you guys behind the scenes and offering some mini trainings. And I also have a podcast, Laptop Lifestyle Podcast, where you can check out a lot more in-depth trainings that I have. So let's dive into today's video. So I was inspired to create today's video because we hear so constantly about building a 6-figure business and hitting those 10K month milestones. And whether you're already in your own business or not, you've definitely just heard about people making money from social media. And at this point, you might think, hey, it's a complete scam. Or you might already be in your business. You've seen how it can kind of work, but it feels really hard to be able to scale up to that point. So today I wanted to break down kind of the 5 steps that you're going to need to focus on that are actually going to make the difference for you to be able to reach a high income month like a 10K month. Now, the 5 things that I'm going to go over today are not necessarily overly complicated, but I sat and reflected on what truly is going to make the difference. And after coaching hundreds of clients reflecting on what they did to hit those 10K months. So I want to give you a little nugget here. If you listen to these 5 tips and you're like, I feel like I'm already doing all of these things, wait until the end, because I'm going to give you a missing piece of the puzzle bonus tip for you as far as what's going to make the difference in hitting these 10K months. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do might seem very obvious, but it is essential. You need to pick a platform and actually start showing up. So even if you've kind of dabbled with this, you've made your little Instagram account and you've posted a couple stories or posts here and there, even if you've gotten that far, I really want you to gut check yourself and look at how much am I actually showing up? How much am I getting visible? Because whether you're at ground zero or you've already gotten started, people cannot buy from you if they don't know that you exist. And even beyond that, if you're not showing up, you're not reaching people, getting visible, getting new people to come and see you, and also you're not building the know, like, and trust factor. And so I actually have another video here that you can check out that's going to explain that in a lot more detail about how to really convert those followers into clients. But this is really the first step, is pick one platform. This is always my recommendation, even to scaling up to the 10K point, and go deep on that platform rather than really staying scattered and going wide. So many new entrepreneurs in the beginning stages, even at that 5 to 10K month mark, they try to expand and they're multi-passionate. They want to do all of these things, and that's amazing. And you totally can do all of the things, but you can't do all of the things in the beginning because you're most likely a one-woman or a one-man show, and it's going to be really, really hard to be able to handle all of those things. And also, you're trying to build a brand. You haven't really established yourself yet to build that trust and to be seen in all of these places. So it's so much better for you to be able to reach those high income months by really focusing on one platform. I'll give you an example of this. I had a client who wanted to be a mindset coach, and she hadn't even launched her business yet, was still kind of figuring out even her services. But what she did is she started showing up anyways. And for probably about 2 months, she was just on her stories and she was sharing information about mindset. She was just sharing what she knew, right? There was no strategy behind it. She wasn't overly, scrutinizing about what was good enough and what wasn't. She just started sharing. And when she actually launched her business, it was 10 times faster and 10 times more profitable because she'd actually built up some reputation and she had showed up. So 3 little quick reminders here for you. One is you don't have to be an expert in order to be an authority. So huge difference here in between being an expert and being an authority is being an expert feels like we have to know all of the things under the sun. And a lot of people don't show up, whether it's zero showing up or they only show up a little bit because they're really nervous about that and they have imposter syndrome. But being an authority, you can own at any level, right? So if all you know is this much, own that level and show up as an authority at that, and you're always going to continue to evolve. The other tip for you is don't try and do it all. Really try and simplify in the beginning, because I promise it doesn't have to be complicated to hit those 10K months. And lastly, one of the biggest things in order to hit those 10K months and sell higher ticket offers, which I'm going to talk about in just a minute, you're going to need social proof. You're going to need trust in your audience to be able to invest in you. And so many people are held back saying, well, I don't have any experience or I don't have any testimonials. So make this a core focus for you in the beginning, get beta clients, use your own story as your own testimonial. Like, you have to be very intentional about highlighting all of those different aspects, bragging on yourself and the experience that you do have in order to start to lure people in and hook people on your services. Okay, tip number 2 for you is to focus on building an audience. Now, you don't necessarily need a huge audience like you might need with courses and smaller products in order to make a 10K month if you're focused on services, especially high ticket ones, which again, we're talking about in a minute. But you do need to build an audience. A lot of people can hit, 1, 2, 3, 4, even 5K months right off the bat in launching their business, just kind of based on their personal network or pitching in some Facebook groups. But kind of getting to that next level of hitting a 10K month, you typically need a little bit more of an audience and a presence to utilize and make those sales on social media. So make this one of your main focuses as you're building your business at this stage, is to continually build an audience, which is going to mean being intentional about visibility strategies and getting yourself out there, as well as being intentional about lead gen, bringing certain people in, and also nurturing them for the sale. Now, the third tip for you is probably one of the most important, if not the most important, and that is to get away from an hourly model and move to a package-based model for your services, and also have at least one high ticket offer. So a high ticket offer is subjective, right? It's relative to all of the offers that you have. However, as a rule of thumb, I typically tell people that a high ticket offer is going to be $1,000 or above. Now, the reason that this is so crucial is because honestly, reaching 10K months is a math problem, right? We're going to have to figure out how much time do you have, how much do you charge, and how many clients can you take on. So in the beginning, if you're charging hourly just here and there and all over the place, right? You're not going to be able to rely on that income or project that income, and it's most likely going to be very hard to figure out how to reach a 10K month. Whereas if you have a high ticket package that's $1,000 or $2,000, you're only going to need a handful of clients in order to reach that 10K month. Now, in order to be able to charge those higher ticket prices, you're going to need to start to build up that testimonial and that social proof to really gain that trust with your audience. And you may want to look into evolving your skills into a more specialized or niche skill set. Now, you do not have to do this, but typically this is a really great way to be very in demand with some of those higher level skills. So you don't have to start off this way, but most likely at this point, if you're scaling to 10K months, you've already kind of started rocking and rolling in your business. So a couple examples of this are maybe you started as a VA and you were offering a bunch of different general admin tasks here and there and social media tasks. Well, you might decide to offer now a more specialized skill set of social media management for Instagram and Facebook or LinkedIn, right? And so we're really honing in on something that you're becoming known for and rinse and repeat, right? Or maybe you started out as a copywriter and doing a bunch of blogs and website copy and all of these things, but you decide to specialize now on email copywriting for funnels. That is highly in demand and definitely a skill set that we're going to be able to charge a little bit more for. So look at your expertise and your skill set now and see either A, if you can just raise your prices and put it into a package, or B, if you can expand your skill sets into a more specialized one to be able to charge those higher ticket prices. Now, one thing that always comes up here, especially as people have started to gain momentum into their business and are scaling to 6 figures, is everyone wants passive income, right? Now, passive income is great and it does exist, right? Like, we can make money while we're sleeping, but I think there's a lot of myths and misconceptions about passive income. So if you're curious about creating a course, watch this video here where I walk you through all of the steps that you're going to need to do to create and launch a successful course. One of the things to note though is that typically a course, if you're already a service provider and you don't have a large audience, it's not necessarily going to be the best way to scale up to 6 figures. Now, before I say anything else, let me tell you that there are a million ways for you to make money online and there's no one right way to do business. But in general, it's a lot easier to offer one-on-one higher ticket services in order to reach that 10K mark rather than courses and lower ticket offers, even though it sounds really sexy and elusive, because you're going to need a much larger volume and it's also typically very time intensive to be able to offer those. So once you have a team to be able to help you and once you have some more sustainable income coming in, that's typically when it's going to be easier to start to really focus on expanding your audience and add courses and passive income. But like I said before, watch this video here where you can check out all of the details about creating and launching a successful course and adding passive income into your business. Now, tip number 4 is to be smart about sales. So this is where people, again, get really caught up and they try and do more. They say, hey, okay, I tried this and it's not working. And oftentimes we ditch the strategy too soon instead of being persistent. We also, a lot of times, don't really focus on sales. A lot of people shy away from sales and you have to sell to be successful as a business owner and make 10K months. So make sure that you're really being smart about sales and don't make it harder than it needs to be. Have you sent out a referral program and asked for referrals recently? Are you really genuinely building relationships in your DMs and all the other places that you're present to really get people to be your loyal tribe and followers and really trust you? Is your content actually doing the work? Is your content nurturing people and taking them along this mental journey to prepare them and make them ready for the sale and really hooking them in to want to come back every single day and look at what you have to offer? And if you're sitting here saying, I feel like I'm doing pretty good, I feel like I'm selling every day and I'm showing up and doing all the things, then we want to ask ourselves why. Why are people not biting? There's a lot of different reasons why things might be resonating with our audience. And so as a rule of thumb, we always want to ask what's working and what's not working. So one thing you can do is simply ask. Ask your audience, ask the people in front of you, ask your current clients, ask people what it is that they're actually wanting, that they're interested. Ask people which of your content has been resonating with them most. Ask yourself and do some gut checks here. Have we actually been showing up? Have we actually been selling? Is our content relevant and resonating with our audience? And do you feel like that you've been showing up in a consistent way for your audience to trust you and for you to really stand out? If you feel like you need to build more trust with your audience, I have a little quick tip for you. One thing that you can do is create a hook offer. So sometimes this is going to be a natural offer already existing in your offer suite, such as a low or mid-tier offer that leads naturally up into your higher ticket offer. But a hook offer is simply something that is short-term and often lower price point or a lower investment for you to be able to hook people in, give them an actual transformation, but kind of give them a taste of what it's going to be like working with you. And then you might be able to upsell them into your main higher ticket offer. So if you feel like your audience isn't biting and you feel like you need to build more trust, focus on those testimonials and then introduce a hook offer to try and get some people who are sitting there and they are curious, they are interested, but they're not quite ready for that higher investment. Get them in, show them how amazing you are, and then you'll be much more easily able to upsell them into your bigger ticket offers. And my fifth and last tip for you is to income stack. So one of the things to note is most people don't hit a 10K month starting from zero. And this is going to be crucial for you, not just hitting a 10K month, but actually hitting consistent 10K months, okay? So we need to start income stacking. So what this means is that you are going to start booking revenue out. So if it is June, you're going to start booking clients for July and August as well, or maybe you have payment plans for some of your offers, so you already have money coming in. What this does is then in July or August, you're not starting from ground zero. You might already have 4 or 5K coming in, so you only need to sell 5 or 6K more in order to reach that 10K month. This is going to be crucial to you really picking up momentum and continuing to scale your business. So I hope this is really helpful in you starting to really look at your business and what it's going to take. And to be honest, it doesn't take more than this. If you feel like, no, it can't be that simple, I'm doing all of these things and it's not working, well, here's my little bonus tip that I promised you if you stayed until the end. That's a missing puzzle piece, if you will, to help you understand if you feel like you're doing all these things, why it still might not be working. So one reason it might not be working is that you're too close to the situation. So as business owners, we are in our business every single day. Sometimes we can't always see different perspectives, or we can't always see what we are or not doing. This is why it's so helpful to have a mentor or peers who are also in this space who can be able to see things from a different angle and maybe even call you out and say, hey, I don't think this quite makes sense. Or even though you felt like you're selling a lot, I really haven't seen you sell in, a week or two and mention your offers. I actually didn't even know you offered that, right? So you need to be able to get some perspective and really have someone to be able to gut check you. So a solution to this is hiring a mentor or joining something like a mastermind where you can get peers that are on your level and keep you accountable. Another reason it might not seem like it's working is that your content and your messaging isn't landing. So this is somewhat self-explanatory, although it's not necessarily an easy thing, but you do need to start diving into your content and your messaging and figure out what message you're trying to relay, and also try and figure out what message people are receiving, because it's not always the same no matter how hard we try. This is something that I work on with my clients from beginners all the way up to multiple six figures and beyond, as messaging is huge and it's something that's constantly evolving. Another reason why it might not be landing is that you're not standing out. So for so many reasons, so many newer entrepreneurs still at this stage of scaling to six figures, they feel like they're still not quite sure what they're doing all the time. And maybe you feel this way as well. And so one thing that we do very naturally, because we're human, is you look to other people in your space or your industry, other people that you look up to that have achieved whatever that goal is. And a lot of times if we see them do something that works, we try and do what works. And so what happens is you lose your sparkle, right? You lose your own thought process and actions. And just because it worked for them doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So if you feel like you're not standing out out and you feel like you're losing your voice and you might just be going through the motions of what other people are doing, another really good way to gut check this and protect yourself from this is joining a group program or mastermind or getting a mentor as well, because this is going to be a great way for you to be able to have these conversations and figure out, hey, you tried this, let me figure out what I want to try that works. And you're also going to have that coach or mentor or someone to be able to gut check you on this. The fourth thing that might be happening if this doesn't seem to be working is your sales process, essentially. So what I want you to do is reflect on your sales process. Reflect on what are the actual steps for someone finding you, learning about you, nurturing you, and being sold on your product. How easy is it for someone who doesn't really know you to land on your Instagram page or website or wherever it is and learn about what you do and actually get to that point of sale. This is something that we always want to be looking at, and you want to make sure that your offer is actually validated and that it's being positioned correctly and that you are selling it and looking at what that selling process involves and making sure that you are coming about sales in an active and an authentic way. And the last reason, if you're going through all these motions and it still feels like it's not working to get you to those 10K months, might be that we're speaking into a void. Now, as you've heard from probably so many different people in building a business online and via social media, you don't need 1 million followers in order to make some really good money, especially if you're offering services and especially if you're offering high ticket services. However, as we continue to grow your business, we always need to be bringing new eyeballs in front of us, new people in front of us. Lead gen is an always thing that has to be done in our business. And so if we haven't really focused a lot on lead gen, but you were able to get a couple of clients in the beginning, that might be an area where we're almost speaking into a void and we need to bring some new people into our business that are going to be aligned followers that are primed to buy from us. So I hope you guys were taking notes and are excited to do some auditing of your business and figure out where you can improve and what you're going to need to really focus on in order to scale to those 10K months. You can also check out this video here if you are in the very beginning stages of really actually trying to get your business started, where I walk you through the exact 8 steps that you're going to need to start your online business. And then you can come back to this video to be able to scale to those 10K months. And if you're already wanting more, you can watch my videos here where I talk all about being able to sell on Instagram and more specifically actions that you're going to need to do to monetize your Instagram. And I also have a podcast episode here that's all about why you're not hitting consistent 5K plus months within your business that has some other really helpful tips for you. So thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe to help us with this video, and comment below and let me know which of these things that you are committing to in your business to really focus on that I talked about in this video today. Thank you so much for joining, and don't forget to check out some of these other videos here where I talk about all things entrepreneurship, building an online business, and the digital nomad lifestyle.